The vessels meant to hold all of the divine light of creation shattered. Now, according to Kabbalah, before creation existed, God tried to pour infinite divine light into finite containers in order to create the universe, and the vessels couldn't hold it. They shattered catastrophically, scattering fragments of divine light into the darkness, and every human soul is literally one of those shards, just trying to remember what it was before it broke. This is Sheveret HaKalim, better known as the shattering of the vessels, and it's the Kabbalistic explanation for why reality is broken, why evil exists, and what we're supposed to do about it. The story comes from Isaac Luria, a 16th century Kabbalist who had this vision of what happened before creation. God wanted to create something other than himself, but if God is infinite and fills everything, where do you put a creation? There's no room. So God did what's known as divine contraction. He withdrew his light, created a void, it was just an empty space where creation could exist, and then he sent a ray of that divine light into the void to begin forming reality. But light without structure is just chaos, so God created 10 vessels to hold and shape the light into distinct forms. The first 3 vessels held. They were stable enough to contain what was being poured into them. But the lower 7 vessels, they just couldn't handle it. The light was too intense, too infinite for finite containers, and one by one, they all shattered. Divine light scattered everywhere, with fragments falling into the void. Even the broken vessel shards fell with them. These shards later became known as the Qliphoth, which I've done many videos on before, and essentially they're the husks or the shells. They're fragments of structure without light, and they trap the scattered sparks inside them. The shells became the foundation of evil, limitation, and separation. Everything that feels wrong with reality. Every atom of physical matter contains trapped divine sparks surrounded by these shells. Your body? Trapped sparks. Every object, every person, and every experience in the material world is divine light imprisoned in broken vessels. Even your soul is one of those sparks. You're a fragment of divine, infinite light that fell during the shattering, and you're just here trying to remember what you were before the breaking. This is why we feel existential longing and why nothing fully satisfied. It's because we're infinity trapped in finitude. Now, the shattering wasn't a mistake, though. Important to note that Luria taught that God allowed it because only through breaking and repair could true creation occur. Unbroken vessels would just reflect God's perfection, with no growth and no free will. The breaking is what created the possibility for something new. And that's where tikkun comes in, or repair. The entire purpose of human existence is gathering the scattered sparks and returning them to their source. Every conscious act literally repairs the vessels. When you eat with gratitude, you're releasing the spark trapped in that food. When you transform suffering into wisdom, you're liberating sparks from the darkest shells. It's not about the action itself, it's about consciousness. Awareness frees the sparks. Every spark you free contributes to cosmic repair. When enough sparks return to their source, the shells dissolve. Reality heals itself. The Qliphoth aren't pure